she suggested coming up here. You get the full impact.
Tie the boat off. Look in the back.
What was that? What was that?
I think they're closing the other gate behind us.
I can't.
I don't have a camera, so.
Never mind.
Gates behind us are now closed, and the water on the other side of the gates ahead of us is about 3 feet from the top of the gates, 21 feet higher than the water level we're now on. Extending the full length of this lock and beyond the gates at both ends are large tunnels with a large valve located inside each end. These tunnels run under the floor of this lock and under the gates ahead of us and behind us. To raise us from the Lake Huron water level to the Lake Superior level, the filling valves beyond the gates ahead of us will be open, allowing the higher water on the other side of those gates to flow down under the gates through the tunnels and up into the lock through the openings in the floor of the lock. The emptying valves located inside the ends of the tunnels behind us are closed so that the Lake Superior water entering this lock cannot escape through the gates behind us to the lower level. The flow of water into this lock is all by gravity and no pumps are required. Once the water inside the lock reaches the same level as the water on the other side of the gates ahead of us, the gates ahead of us will then be open and we will continue on the tour.
The lock is now being filled with Lake Superior water. In a few minutes you'll be looking over the top of the lock wall. This lock can be filled with water in about 10 to 15.
Come on, Dad. Come on.
In 1881, the Weitzel lock was opened where the #1 lock is today, eventually being replaced by the MacArthur lock, the lock that we're now in. And today there are 5 Soo Locks, 4 American and 1 Canadian, and the 3rd and 4th lock remain as originally constructed.
No.
This is going to custom. American custom.
I have them.
Canadian. I wouldn't want to stop that.
Passengers riding on board our tour boats have asked for additional information on the Soo Locks and other lock and canal systems of the world. We have published a special 112-page book entitled Locks and Ships, answering many of the questions on the Soo Locks, the St. Lawrence Seaway, and the Panama Canal. Included in the book is a listing of American and Canadian freighters giving their length, width, cargo carrying capacity, and the year they were built. The book covers the history of this area. It has charts and nautical terms, a section with a short story of the freighter Edmund Fitzgerald and other ships that were lost in November storms on the Great Lakes. It also covers the historical lighthouses of the area and has a complete copy of our lock tour narration. On page 73 is a color photograph of the vessel that you're now on, the Nokomis. The book Locks and Ships sells for about $11 in some of the novelty stores up on West Portage Avenue. We do offer them at a discount out here on the tour boat because they're a Soo Locks Boat Tours publication. The Locks and Ships book is available for $7 here in the pilot house on the upper deck. If anyone who purchases a copy of the book would like to have their copy signed by the captain or crew, we'd be happy to do that for you at the time of your purchase, or you can bring your book back to the pilot house anytime during the remainder of the trip.
Bring the ships over.
You're not going to hear it all.
Hold me. Hold me. Hold me. Hold me.
How are you?
You hold me, please, Dad. Hold me, please. You hold me. Hold me.
No, don't do that.
For opening ahead of us, and the safety boom is being raised. We'll soon leave the lock to continue our 10-mile international tour. We'll cross under the highway and railroad bridges and head over to the SR Algoma Steel Mill in Sault Ste. Marie, Ontario.
It's open.
We are on the upper St. Mary's River now. It is still 16 miles ahead of us to Lake Superior. And Lake Superior has the greatest surface area of any freshwater lake in the world, 31,820 square miles.